Donald Trump and others are reacting to Biden's MAGA murder speech, the speech where he emerged from the gates of hell into the blood-red backdrop with Marines armed at his side, or standing by his side at least. We've got Joe Biden. You can see him here. This is what the scene looked like. We've got reaction from Donald Trump, and we're going to take a quick look at two of the DOD policies about this. Was this a problem? Are the Marines supposed to be there? I mean, they sort of seemed like this was all part of a choreographed message. What is the message? Well, we'll take a look. But we've got reaction also from CNN. This woman here, her name is Brianna Keilar. She sort of went against the grain on this. She's like, yeah, Joe Biden shouldn't have done that. And she got blasted by Keith Olbermann and others. But first, Donald Trump came out in a very interesting sort of dichotomy. You know, Joe Biden came out very angry, screaming blood red at all of America, castigating an entire political party, saying MAGA Republicans are literal threats to America, a statement that he's been repeating for quite some time. Trump came out and he sort of was a little, more presidential. Here's what Trump said in reacting to Biden's MAGA warfare declaration.
As you know, this week, Joe Biden came to Philadelphia 50, if we want to be accurate about it, as threats to democracy and as enemies of the state. You're all enemies of the state.
Yeah.
He's an enemy of the state. You want to know the truth? The enemy of the state is him and the group that control him, which is circling around him. Do this, do that, Joe. You're going to do this, Joe, right? I think Philadelphia was a great choice to make this speech of hatred.
And he says it's hatred and anger. And for some reason, my audio is not working well today again. The clips are playing delayed. Hatred, there it is.
His speech of hatred and anger. His speech was hatred and anger. By the way, the next morning, he forgot what he said. You saw that. They asked him about, I didn't think I said that, did I? Oh, no. How'd you like the red lighting behind him like the devil? But Philadelphia was a great choice because the city is being devastated under Democrat rule. Devastated.
That's his reaction. And of course, we've got Joe Biden, who is standing in front of the red background. And when he gave his speech, Biden was standing in front of these two Marines. You see them both here. And a big question that a lot of people had is, was that an appropriate use of the Marines? Should they have been there, right? When you're giving a partisan political speech where you're literally talking about an entire party being threats to America, do you want to bring out the American military to symbolize that? Yes or no? It's a good question. But we decided to take a quick look at some of the DOD policies. And I got a lot of this over from Jonathan Turley, who does a great job in his legal research. And he pulled this out for us. He said, look at this one. DOD directive. This one was published February 19, 2008. Political activities by members of the armed forces. Oh, you mean like those two Marines who were standing on the left and the right of the president when he gave his MAGA blood speech? References the DOD. The purpose to update policies on political activities of members. It applies to everybody in the DOD. The policy is to encourage members of the armed forces, including people in different statuses, to carry out the obligations of the citizens, and in keeping with traditional concepts, to not appear any or imply any official sponsorship, approval, or endorsement in the following situations. All right. Now here you can see general section 4.1.1. A member of the armed forces on active duty may, right? This is the stuff that they may do. And if you go down here to 4.1.19, take a look at this one. You may, if you are a Marine or somebody in the armed services, you may attend partisan and nonpartisan political fundraising activities, meetings, rallies, kind of like what that was, a debate, a convention, activities as a spectator. But that wasn't really spectating, huh? But it also says when not in uniform. Oh, man, so that doesn't apply. So there's no real may there. You can't even, you may display a bumper sticker on your private vehicle. Okay, so like those things. But then you see, what's this? A member of the armed forces on active duty shall not Okay, shall not. So you may go do these things if it is not implying official sponsorship or approval. But shall not participate in partisan fundraising, rallies, conventions, either on one's own behalf or on that of another, without respect to the uniform. He says participation here includes more than mere attendance as a spectator. So standing there in official outfits. And it's looked like they were official part of the ceremony. May not, 4.1.22, use official authority or influence to interfere with elections, allow or cause political articles to be published, serve in any official capacity with or be listed as a sponsor of a partisan political club, speak at a gathering, participate in radio, conduct a survey, perform clerical or other duties for a partisan political committee or a campaign, solicit or engage in fundraising activities, march or ride in a parade. Okay, all of these things you're not supposed to do. Attend partisan political events, 4.1.2.15. As an official representative of the armed forces, not allowed to do that, except as a member of the Joint Armed Forces, Color of Guard, or any other political parties. Make campaign contributions or do other things. Activities apply to everybody who was there. And you got to get special permission to do this stuff, right? And who knows if they did, who knows if the Biden people decided to approve that one way or the other. We also have DOD Instruction 1334.01. This is another document. This one's much shorter. It's 6 pages. This is about uniforms. Let's see what the policy says here. The wearing of the uniform is prohibited under any of the following circumstances. At any meeting or demonstration sponsored by an organization that is totalitarian or communist, which I guess, I don't know about that one. You got sort of two strikes right there. You're not supposed to wear the uniform at totalitarian communist speeches. Right there. They're in violation of the rule under A and C. Joe Biden gave a totalitarian communist speech. The DOD rules say you can't wear a uniform if you're a dictator or attending dictatorship events. Seeking to alter the U.S. government during or in connection with the furthering of political activities. Not supposed to wear the uniform, subsection 2. So Joe Biden and the White House, obviously, they don't really care much for rules or the Constitution or really the military in any way, shape, or form. And so there's 2 rules there that they were in violation of when they were giving their MAGA murder speech. And a lot of people had some criticisms about this. Brianna Keilar was one individual who said, maybe we shouldn't have used the military to go and do this stuff in the middle of your speech. She said on Twitter, whatever you think of this speech, the military is supposed to be apolitical. Positioning Marines in uniform behind the president for a political speech flies in the face of that. It's wrong when Democrats do it. It's wrong when Republicans do it. Now, Brianna actually was not looked kindly upon by many people out there on the interwebs. She posted that tweet and posted this article and got lambasted on it. Says others who are connected to the military are concerned about the politicization of the armed forces. It raised questions about the military and about how we do things here. She said it caught her eye. She was genuinely surprised the White House made what appeared to be such an egregious error. She posted the tweet that we just read, and the tweet got ratioed. The tsunami of online opposition included some veterans who disagreed, but also the White House Chief of Staff, Ron Klain, retweeting a thread from a liberal blogger who called her a propagandist. Commentator Keith Olbermann said I should be fired. And one account that tweeted pictures of my husband in his army uniform with our children, questioning whether he even owns a suit. He does, but I think it would be fine if he didn't. Multiple White House staffers pushed back on the characterization of the speech as political. Yikes. So even a CNN anchor is getting blown out of the water by many of the Biden lefties. How dare you say that he shouldn't have the military there? We're under attack. You understand what these Trump MAGA Republicans are doing? They might take over power any day now, and Biden has to use the Marines in order to save democracy. We already talked about this equation before. If the military defends democracy and the Republicans are threats to democracy, then what is the military going to need to do? It's kind of a, if and then a statement. But that is Trump reacting to Biden's speech. Biden obviously violating his own DOD policies as the commander-in-chief, not giving a whip about it. And then CNN and their anchors getting roasted for challenging the regime. We'll continue to cover, and I hope you decide to join us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check out our community also over at watchingthewatchers.locals.com.